Yes, Mother. I made you this really ugly little clay dog. Remember that? Al made one too. His is even worse than mine. Yes. Well, the story behind that is that you guys might be pleased to know that I am as much of a nerd as you are. I'm not kidding you. I just saw a Jedi Knight with his hood up and everything standing in the doorway, and I wanted to go, oh, Star Wars. Anybody here ever been to Star Wars Celebration, the Star Wars celebrations that they did before the movies? I was there, dressed as a Jedi Knight. Oh yeah. And I love it. In fact, it was funny that Marina mentioned Dragon Con, because 10 years ago, I went to Dragon Con as a fan, dressed as a stormtrooper. And so now I go to Dragon Con as a guest, and it's very surreal, you know what I mean? Because I was just like a fan dressing up in costumes 10 years ago. But I was at this big convention in Dallas called A-Con. And one of my friends was there, and she said, hey, I've got this really great cloud costume from Final Fantasy. Do you want to wear it? And of course, who could resist, right? So I put it on, and the funny thing was that I put it on thinking, this will be great. I can walk around the convention for a while and not have to, talk to people or take pictures or anything. I'll just kind of hang out like everybody else. No. People love Cloud. So like more people wanted pictures of Cloud than me. I was like, they're like, oh, Cloud! And so I ended up spending like an hour with this giant sword, posing for pictures and stuff. So I made a mental note. Next time you do a costume, make sure it has a helmet. Or something like that. Or it doesn't look like a hot character from Final Fantasy. That's a word to the wise. And then the next year, I dressed as a TIE fighter pilot from Star Wars. And I've also done some other dressing up. Yes, I've also done some other costume things that I don't know if any of you ever seen me dressed as Captain James T. Kirk, the Starship Enterprise. This is my first option as Spock. You're so cute. Mr. Spock, not as cute as you. Anyway, so I'm a big geek. I'm a big sci-fi fan, and I love doing events like this because it's like hanging out with your peeps, Question? Do you have a question, young lady? Tell me your question, you cute girl. Not you! What? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Say that again.
What if I was a can opener?
What if I was a can opener? Would you open him? You wouldn't? Me neither. Because what's inside? Nothing. There's just a ghost inside. Oh! I'm traumatizing. Hold on. What's your name? Devotia? That is, oh my gosh, how beautiful. And what's your name? Destiny and Devotion. Wow. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. You're adorable. What if I used a can opener on Al? He'd probably squash me like a bug. He'd go, brother! And step on me. Question? Yes?
After this, would you give every girl in here that wants one a hug?
Well, let's just say that I have never refused to hug someone that asked me to hug them. And that even includes smelly boys. Yes, I have been known to hug men. Purely platonic, though. Don't give me funny ideas now. Keep your minds out of the gutter. Yes?
Tickle shy words.
I do. Advice for aspiring actors and actresses. My advice to you is act. I know that sounds weird, but that's the truth. You learn by doing. Talking about it, watching other stuff is all nice and good. But the more experience that you can get actually doing something, the better off you will be. There are a lot of people that I've met who want to audition for, let's say, for an animated show, but they don't really ever do anything until they think they're going to get an audition. Well, by then it's too late. You have to be prepared before you get the opportunity. Because if you have not developed the skills yet, you may get one chance to go in and audition for something. And if you aren't ready, you may blow that chance and never get another one. So right now, if you're interested in in acting on stage or camera or anime, whatever, if you're interested in it, start doing it now. Get involved in school plays. Get involved in community theater. Get involved in church programs. Get involved in, if your friends are doing something, or if you're doing something. We had a nice conversation last night in my panel about somebody that wanted to, it was George right here. Wanting to do film, wanting to make films. Well, you know what my advice to him is? You want to guess what it is? Make them. Make them. Get a video camera, make up an idea, plan out how you want to shoot that idea, and go and shoot it. And spend a little bit of money on some software for your computer, and so you can edit it. Yeah, his dad's going, oh no. George, cash in on that. All right, question. Yes, all the way in the back.
What was it like doing Full Metal Alchemist, and how did you get it in the first place?
What was it like doing a show, and how did I get it in the first place?
Yeah.
That's a really interesting question because, thank you. When I had just finished doing, I think it was Spiral, which is an anime at Funimation, and Justin Cook. You guys know that name?
Yeah.
Yu Yu Manga Show? Yes. Justin was supposed to be directing, originally was supposed to direct Full Metal Alchemist. And he called me and said, hey, I've got this show I'd like you to come and audition for. And he said it's called Full Metal Alchemist. Well, I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I was not a huge anime fan independent of the work that I had done, so I didn't really know what the show was about. I had done a show called Full Metal Panic, but of course, nothing to do with any of that. So I went up there to Funimation to read for this show, and what they typically have, you guys, is there's this room, a waiting area, with a loose leaf notebook, and a whole bunch of pages, and each page has a picture of a character, a paragraph description of the character, and then 5 or 6 lines that the character would say. They call them character sides, audition sides. And what you do is, ooh, there's a sexy girl. This is my sweet girl, Michelle. Baby, thank you. What? Yes, she brought stuff. Can you maybe find, find him for me and tell him I've got the DVDs that I want to show. Oh, are you the man? Okay. So I was looking through the sides, the audition sides for Full Metal Alchemist, and I didn't know anything about the characters, didn't know anything about the show, so I'm looking through the pages, right? And I'm like, Alphonse Elric. He's such and such years old, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, I don't think I would ever be considered for him. Too young, I don't think I could do it. So I turn the page and I'm like, Maze Hughes. He works in the military, blah, 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 and he loves his daughter. I'm like, nice guy, looks like a nice family man. Turn the page, Colonel Roy Mustang.